Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's full of twists, drama, and shocking revelations. Get ready, because this one will keep you hooked until the very end. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Picture this: a wife, a mistress, and a husband tangled in a deadly love triangle. The outcome? A father loses his life, and a wife ends up in handcuffs. This isn't just another affair gone wrong, it's a story of rage, betrayal, and decisions that destroyed an entire family. Today, we're diving into the shocking case of Frances Hall, the millionaire's wife who couldn't hold back her fury. Stick around, this story will leave you speechless. At the center of it all was Bill Hall Jr., a successful trucking company owner from Texas, worth millions. To the outside world, Bill had it all: a thriving business, a loving family, and a passion for life in the fast lane. But behind closed doors, he had a reputation for infidelity, and that's where Bonnie Contreras enters the picture. Bonnie, a young, confident woman nearly half Bill's age, swept him off his feet. Lavish vacations, luxury cars, expensive gifts, Bill couldn't get enough of her. But this wasn't just a fling. Bonnie made sure she had her hooks in deep, and Frances, his wife of 32 years, was about to find out. It all came crashing down when Bonnie made her presence known, sending Frances videos and photos of her and Bill together. We're talking explicit, taunting messages designed to cut deep. Imagine seeing that from the woman stealing your husband. Frances's anger turned into something darker. October 13th, 2013, everything comes to a head. Frances spots her husband on his motorcycle, and not far behind, there's Bonnie in Frances's own Range Rover. It's a moment of rage, humiliation, and heartbreak. That's when Frances makes a decision that changes everything. Frances, behind the wheel of her black Escalade, starts chasing Bonnie's car. Bonnie claims Frances rammed her vehicle multiple times, pushing her into oncoming traffic. But Frances wasn't done yet. What happens next leaves Bill, on his motorcycle, caught in the middle. During the high-speed chase, Frances's vehicle sideswipes Bill's motorcycle, sending him flying. Emergency responders rush to the scene, but it's too late. Bill, the man at the center of it all, succumbs to his injuries. The family patriarch is gone, and two women's lives are forever changed. Police quickly zero in on Frances. Her Escalade shows clear signs of a collision: smashed windows, dents, and scratches. Bonnie points the finger immediately, claiming Frances intentionally ran her husband off the road. Within hours, Frances Hall, a mother of two with no prior criminal record, is in handcuffs. The courtroom becomes a battleground. On one side, Frances, claiming the crash was a tragic accident fueled by grief and rage. On the other, prosecutors argue it was cold-blooded murder driven by jealousy and revenge. The nation watches as secrets, accusations, and lies unravel in front of the jury. Bonnie takes the stand, painting a picture of a vengeful wife consumed by rage. She describes the terrifying chase, claiming Frances rammed her car repeatedly before hitting Bill. But Frances's defense team fires back, arguing that Bonnie played a manipulative role in escalating the feud. After days of emotional testimony, the jury finds Frances guilty, not of premeditated murder, but of a crime Texas law calls sudden passion. This ruling spares her a life sentence, reducing her punishment to 2 years in prison. But the damage is done, Bill is gone, and two families are shattered. From inside her prison cell, Frances maintains that the crash was an accident. She insists she never intended to harm her husband, saying, "I love Bill, and I always will." But guilt weighs heavy on her. "If I did hit him, I'll live with it for the rest of my life." Meanwhile, Bonnie remains unrepentant. She defends her relationship with Bill, claiming they were truly in love. But critics call her a manipulative gold digger, blaming her for fueling the deadly feud. Bonnie denies these accusations, saying, "I didn't break up their family. It was already broken." For Bill's children, the loss is immeasurable. They've lost their father, their family is fractured, and their mother is behind bars. One heartbreaking moment stands out: the kids visiting Frances in jail, seeing her in handcuffs for the first time. "We never thought this would be our reality," they say. Was this truly a crime of passion, or something more deliberate? Did Bonnie's provocations push Frances to the breaking point, or was Frances solely responsible for her actions? These questions haunt everyone involved, leaving a legacy of pain and regret. Frances's lawyers argue that her actions were never about revenge or hatred, but a moment of raw, uncontrollable emotion. They say she acted out of heartbreak and humiliation, not malice. She didn't mean to kill him, her attorney said. She just snapped. But was it really a snap, or something brewing for years? Bonnie paints a different picture, claiming Frances always had control and intentionally escalated this situation. She recalls Frances's taunts and threats, including messages like, "You'll pay for what you've done." But Frances's family fires back, saying Bonnie's behavior pushed her to the edge. Who's telling the truth? Bill's death didn't just leave a void in his family, it left them questioning everything. How did their father's double life lead to this? Could they have done something to stop it? The guilt and unanswered questions weigh heavily on everyone involved. This case captivated the nation, and the public quickly chose sides. Some sympathized with Frances, calling her a heartbroken wife driven to the brink. Others saw her as a cold-blooded killer who let jealousy and rage destroy her family. And Bonnie? Many saw her as the spark that ignited the fire. Bonnie's lavish lifestyle during her relationship with Bill became a focal point. Luxury cars, designer clothes, and extravagant gifts made people question her motives. Was she truly in love, or was it all about the money? Bonnie insists it was love, but her critics aren't buying it. One chilling piece of evidence stands out, a voicemail Frances's daughter sent to Bonnie before the crash, warning her to watch her back. Prosecutors used this as proof of Frances's intent, but her defense argued it was an empty threat fueled by raw emotion. The voicemail remains a haunting reminder of the tension. Inside Gatesville Women's Prison, Frances reflects on the choices that landed her there. She spends nearly 24 hours a day in her cell, replaying the events over and over. "I'll never forgive myself," she says. "But I know I didn't mean to hurt him. I just lost control." Despite everything, Frances's children remain by her side. They visit her in prison, write letters, and share memories of their father. "We're all broken," her son says. "But we're trying to heal, for Dad's sake. He wouldn't want us to live in anger." Bonnie, meanwhile, has moved on, or at least tried to. But she says the case follows her everywhere. "People don't know the real story," she claims. "They only see me as the other woman, not the person who loved Bill." Whether she's a victim or a villain depends on who you ask. This case serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of unchecked anger and betrayal. It's a story of love turned toxic, where no one truly wins. For Frances, Bonnie, and Bill's children, the scars are permanent. And for the rest of us? It's a lesson in the devastating cost of choices made in the heat of the moment. With Bill gone, his multi-million-dollar trucking empire fell into chaos. Frances, once the matriarch of a wealthy family, faced lawsuits and financial ruin. Bonnie, on the other hand, filed a $2.5 million civil suit against Frances's family for emotional distress. The fight over Bill's wealth added another layer of bitterness to an already tragic story. Frances's relatively light 2-year sentence left many people outraged. She killed her husband and got a slap on the wrist, critics argued. But others saw it differently, saying she'd already lost everything: her husband, her family, and her freedom. The debate over her punishment still sparks heated conversations today. Bill's daughter has been one of Frances's strongest supporters, but she also carries a heavy burden. She admitted leaving that voicemail warning Bonnie to watch her back and said it's something she'll regret forever. "I never thought things would go this far," she said tearfully. "I wish I could take it all back." Bonnie claims she never wanted things to end like this. "I love Bill," she insists, "and I didn't mean to hurt anyone." But for many, her role in provoking Frances is hard to ignore. Critics point to the taunting messages, the extravagant gifts, and the relentless jabs as evidence that Bonnie enjoyed fueling the fire. Frances's time in prison was more than just punishment, it was a daily reminder of what she'd lost. "I replay that day over and over," she said in an interview. "I can't forgive myself for turning the car around. I'll live with that guilt until the day I die." Back in San Antonio, where the Hall family was once a pillar of the community, opinions remain divided. Some see Frances as a victim of a toxic love triangle, pushed to her breaking point. Others view her as a cautionary tale about the dangers of letting rage take over. Either way, her story is hard to forget. For Bill's children, the hardest part is the emptiness left behind. "Our dad is gone, and our family will never be the same," his son said. "We miss him every day, and we're trying to move forward, but it's like a piece of us is missing." Many wonder if things could have turned out differently. Could Frances have walked away instead of turning her car around? Could Bill have ended his affair sooner? Or was this tragedy inevitable, with too much anger and betrayal boiling over? the what-ifs haunt everyone involved. At its core, this story is about love, jealousy, and the devastating consequences of unchecked emotions. It's a reminder that choices made in the heat of the moment can have lifelong repercussions. Frances Hall will never forget that day, and neither will her family. The question is, what would you have done in her shoes? In the end, this story isn't just about a love triangle. It's about the devastating consequences of betrayal, jealousy, and anger left unchecked. Bill Hall Jr. is gone, and 2 women who claim to love him are forever scarred. What do you think? Was this justice, or a tragedy with no winners? Wow, what a story, right? Here on our channel, we bring you new videos every single day, filled with stories that surprise, captivate, and keep you coming back for more. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like to support us, and share your suggestions in the comments. We're always looking to create the content you want to see. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.